What up, YouTube? King Damien is back. And today we're doing post-commentary matches. So it'll be best out of 3. I'll try and win 3 in a row. If I lose one, I lose one. I'll stop where I lost. I need to win at least 2 games to get to my 3rd match. I'm playing a Time Justice Shadow deck. And the whole goal is the only creatures in the deck are the merchants, some sites that make creatures, and then the 2 cost that makes a little golem, and that's about it.
It's not even snowing anymore.
My girlfriend's here.
I'm not your girlfriend.
Yeah, she's my wife. I am married. Alright, so I play a sigil or a crest. I bottomed that harsh rule because I didn't think I'd need one that early with only 3 power. So I want to get Temporal Distortion and Martyr's Chains out to just completely control the game. Everyone knows those 2 together go great, especially with a mostly spell-based deck. So he goes for the Dairy Claw Champion, but I have that Emerald design just in case. I play another crest. I see that free power, so I save it for the top and my turn. 0-4 isn't much to worry about. So he goes into the Bang Canosaur. I grab another Avigraft, so I decide to play one now. Just because having 2 in hand is very slow. Want to stay proactive with them, but I also want to make sure that I can keep my hand at least somewhat bigger. So it gives it +2, +6 since it's a dinosaur and killer, which is fine. I play my next crest. I keep that harsh rule. I'm at 5 now. I go to Avigraft him again. If I get him, I get him. But I don't. He definitely has Equivocate in his hand, being white-blue. At this point, I realized I could listen to music since you guys aren't going to hear it. So he equivocates it back to his hand, which is fine. Get more cards out of his hand. Get that Dairy Claw out of his field. So he gets a Trail Runner from that Dairy Claw. Hits me for 1. I don't pay no mind. It's just a 1-3 right now. Nothing scary. I play that. I go for white just so I can possibly get the Temporal Distortion out. And then I call now, because I might as well now than never. It's a 2 cost as well. So I go for the Age-Worn Vestige just because I'll get really close to being able to play it in power. I have the 3 green, and I can nuke the field if I need to. And it'll get my life way back up regardless of anything. So he plays the 2/4 flyer that can bump up all of his other dinosaurs. He plays another Dairy Claw Champion, which isn't too much to worry about. So he increases my harsh rule, which is fine, because I am going to be at 7 power and still able to play it. I draw another merchant, play the power, and I just go straight for that harsh rule. He will equivocate here again, I believe, saving his 2/4, so I'll get a random 4 cost. But that's another Equivocate out of his hand. Those guys are gone. And then it's his turn. So he plays a Illo Mizo, and then he plays the Blur Chaser or whatever it is. I go ahead, trade off my Emerald. I'm thinking I could get the Shenra Speaks, but I'm 1 power away from getting the Temporal Distortion one time sigil away. And then I think here I grab the Martyr's Chain just because 1 more power of any of these and I will have him beat. So he goes ahead and uses that ability twice to scout it up. But he's mostly just doing it so that he can get the damage off on me. Try and do as much as he can as soon as he can. So he draws 2. He's got the next 2 cards. I don't like that he keeps doing that throughout this game though. I want to have more cards than him so I can control. And then I believe he swings with everything. And I'm going to take, I'm at 19. I'm not too worried. If all I need is a power to really get this back, I still have 1 more merchant to mark it off something if I need to. I go ahead and kill a 6/6 anyways though. And then I go ahead and swing for 2. He goes, gets another card out of his hand. I go ahead and go into my other one. I figured I'm not probably going to use that weapon. And then I trade it out for another small cost unit that I can use to protect myself further in the game. Also get back that card I just traded out if I need it. So he goes into a big boy. Gives it killer. So that's going to get really big. I think, what could I possibly do? Take 3? And then I get 2 power. I go ahead and trade. I trade the Temporal Distortion. I'm not going to get it. Shenra Speaks. I kill everything he owns. I play a Crest to set up for future plays. And then I got the Harsh Rule, so I keep it on top just in case he does get anything good. I can kill it right away and set up for my Martyr's Chain to just have every card in my deck become a kill you card besides draw. So I go ahead, I play the power, I Harsh Rule because that is lethal. He plays his Insignia. And I hope for the next card. And I get a Coal. So I'm just going to Coal now. Find my answer. Gonna play Aurelian Merchant. I play it. I think about trading it off. But I realize I can't kill anything if I do. And it's not worth it. So I use it to defend myself. So he goes in for the swing. I guard that. Now my Martyr's Chain is set up. And I get a Pristine Light. So I just go ahead and play it right away. Get rid of his threat again. Since he does have me out lethal again. He plays his power. And then instead I go for the Diesel's Office. Because I can get the draw and it saves me for another kill card for future. We're far enough in. I grab the power so I can set up the Martyr's Chain. I can't decrease that draw card. I get another kill card. I go ahead and use the middle one. I'm not really worried about powering up creatures right now. So he goes ahead, plays a unit. But I have 4 ways to kill it. So I use one of those ways automatically. And then I just end my turn. And from here, it's just whatever I draw, I'm going to kill whatever they have to do. Then I get the Golem Press. And I have lifesteal units. So I'm way ready to go. I start making my units. And they get bumped up. He plays another unit. It doesn't matter. I go ahead with the white and kill his unit. Then I go for the Aurelian Merchant, trade off for my Temporal Distortion, swing for 14. But he kills my 2/2, so he's taking 8. But I'm back up in the clear to survive this match. I make another Golem, and my turn, all my units get boosted. And he thinks that it's over for him, and it is. So this next game, I trade that hand off. There definitely wasn't enough power. I keep this, even though it's not the greatest hand on power. I've only got 2. But I hope I can crest into another power. See, if it's not, I can put it on the bottom. So go ahead, start off with the crest. And I do not need a sight right now, so I put that on the bottom. My opponent is playing mono green, so I get the next power, and I'll be able to play Cast into Shadows. And I can mark it for any of my green cards if I need to. But I have no white mana, so that is definitely a problem. So I go ahead, play a Shadow Sigil, and end my turn. So he's playing red-green, actually. And he plays both of those units. I go ahead, decimate. Killing both of his units. Now I have my white, so I go ahead and set up for my first market. I want to do that right away. So I trade that out, grab another a Shinra Speak, because I figured I'll get into my white cards here soon enough. So he plays Crown Watch Paladin and torches my unit. Oh, lovely torch. So I go ahead, crest. I get another Age-Worth Vestige. I figured, hey, if anything, I can just play it. So I go ahead, trade out the Pristine Light, grab the Temporal Distortion, and hope that I can survive long enough to start doing stuff. So he go ahead and attacks me for 2. I think about blocking, but then I decide not to because I know I'll need that extra power. He plays Finest Hour, which does bump him up. And I go ahead, crest. And I keep the power on top of my deck just in case. So he go ahead and torches my unit. So I drop down a power, which is what I figured. I go ahead, crest again. It's another crest. I'm just going to keep trying to ramp my power up. And hopefully I'll have enough for temporal. If not, I can do my unit. So he goes and hits me for 2 again. I crest to see what my next card is. It's another Shinra Speaks. I keep it on top, I believe. And then I go ahead and play the weapon and kill his unit with Aegis. It doesn't even matter. I just need him to stop powering up. Or no, I put it on the bottom so I can get that extra power. Yep. I get it, so I play the power. Doesn't matter what I go for. I kill his big unit because that is what was getting most of the war cries, and then I can start poking him for 3. So I go ahead, end my turn. He plays his 2/2. So I go ahead and I play my sight first, just so I can get his unit out of the way. Hit him for 3 more points. Hopefully draw into something next turn. A couple things next turn. One that can definitely help me. Another one that'll keep me alive. He plays a 3/3 Valkyrie Enforcer. So I get a market. I scheme. I grab the banish. I play my temporal distortion. And then I swing 3 and kill his unit. And on my turn, now my power is replenishing. I check to see my market. It's all green cards, so he gets out the 2/1 double damage. He goes ahead and tries to go quick with it, but I shut that down real quick. And that's the end of him. So for our next match, I skip ahead. It was just us playing power. He gives me quite a bit of time to set up, so I appreciate that. I have all the right power requirements. He plays a 2/3. I go with the Shadow Sigil, and then I go ahead and mark it off right away. So I trade out my Harsh Roll for Martyr's Chain, thinking I'm just going to go big. I'm at full life. We've got plenty of power. I can outlive this guy. I also already had a Shinra Speak in hand, so I figured might as well just keep it the way it is. So I don't block. I go ahead and play the Crest to see the top card of my deck. It's a Avigraft. I keep it there, even though we're already playing slow, which I probably shouldn't have done, and then I draw 3 cards. Now he's got me for 7, which I'm not too worried about, but then he adds 4 on top of that, which changes that to 11, which is definitely worrisome. So I go ahead with the Crest, check the top card of my deck. Another Avigraft. I believe I put it on top. I go ahead and Shinra Speak, and I do Decimate so he can't get that weapon back. And end my turn. He goes for the Crimson Fire Jaw and a quick draw. So I go ahead, I Pristine Light to get rid of his dragon. Then I Winchest Merchant, trade off one of my Avigrafts. And I grab another Shinra Speaks. So I go ahead and block here. And I think to myself, I just don't want him to be able to play those anymore. So I go ahead and I Avigraph that 2/2. Get rid of it altogether. He can't play them anymore. And I'm set for this game, I think to myself. I got plenty of plays. So I go ahead with the sight. And I look at the top 4 cards in my deck. I grab the Crest so I can get towards that Martyr's Chain, check the top card. I keep it just in case I need to kill more things. So he plays the Ticking Grenadian. I go ahead and decide to kill it now. Take 3. And then I grab another sigil. And I have the Martyr's Chain out. He plays a power. He goes ahead and torches me for 3. I go for the Martyr's Chains, and now I'm all set up. And I just hope I don't get burned down the rest of the way. So he plays his Argenport Instigator. I go ahead and coal to see what else I can get. I just grab the power. I play it now. Look at the top card of my deck and kill his unit, dealing him a damage. It's another. I put it on the bottom. Didn't think too much of it. He takes 1 and I end my turn. My unit gets doubled. And then he madnesses my guy and I lose. And that's it for the games. The deck didn't do too bad. It's better than I expected. I just made it. I could probably edit it a little bit. But other than that, it's a pretty good deck. Alright guys, subscribe if you enjoyed and thank you.